Hello everyone, this is Debbie and welcome to my channel Ridiculous Goodness, and today we're doing the weekly guidance reading for October 10th through the 16th, and I'm using two card deck, well three actually, but first of all these two, I'm going to get one card from the Angel Tarot cards by Adoring Virtue and Radleigh Valentine, and also from the Paulina Tarot by Paulina Cassidy. And after that, we'll get one card from the Journey of Love by Elena Fairchild, Rasuli, and Richard Crone, or Cone, I think. Okay, so let me. Oops. Let's get a couple cards from this. Okay. And one card from this one. Alright, so first card is Two of Swords. And then we have a reverse five of Fire, just meaning high importance, and it's competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. Okay, so we also have the Sun. So it's the major arcana. So we're going through some major things then, of course. So, it kind of mixes, like the Two of Swords, you know, it's like making a decision to me. And we're talking about like conflicting, you know, competing goals, bothersome details, and conflicting with her. But that just means, like, to me, like, this has to do with decisions. But, you know, when you get the Sun, it's the outcome seems to be really good and positive, because that's one of the most positive cards in the deck. Let me not get the glare. I'm trying to angle it right so you look at it just right. That's probably as best as I can get it. But you see the sunflowers in the back and the little boy flying on, like, I think it's like kind of hummingbird, kind of like a bird, like, so it's very, you know, like I said, cheerful, and it has a sun in the background too. It just seems like the sunflowers can represent, like, you know, your spirit guides or your angels and other things like that. It just seems like everything's going well. So I'm trying to get what the message is, like what we need to work on. You know, let me see here for a moment. It just seems like it's kind of like what we were talking about last week about, you know, making your goals and not letting other people, you know, get in your way, or even it could be, you know, wayward spirits or different things like that, like messing with you and kind of making you think that you want something but you, like, it's not what you really want. It's just making sure that you're thinking really positively about, you're just really putting some thought into what it is you really want, not what someone else would want for you because it's easier to want that, or even, like, you know, just thinking about what it is that you really think, what your, you know, different beliefs about things is, you know, for me, like, I'm constantly looking at what I believe and say, well, is this, you know, true to me now? And, you know, you can find, you know, different people's opinions on everything, like, from, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter what opinion it is, like, you know, somebody has, you know, some article like, oh, this is my opinion, or you could be the opposite and you find different opinions about anything, and so it's not, you shouldn't just believe what you hear or read just straight off, even if you see it everywhere. It doesn't matter if you see it 100 different places. Like, you have to think, is this really true? It doesn't matter, because, information can spread like crazy, and I can hear it from somebody else and say, that's right, because it's, said so many times. So it's kind of like, I'm talking about the same thing. It's related, like, what you're hearing from other people, or even like I said, where we're spirits that are not good for you, to like earthbound kind of things, and different things like that. But also it has to do with what you're hearing from other people that actually, on YouTube or whatever. What I have to say is, I'm trying to put, what I think is right out there too, but maybe what I believe is not what you believe, and that's okay. I don't know everything, and if somebody says they do, then there's something up with that, because nobody knows everything. Like, we're always constantly learning, and then even when I think about something and say, okay, at this time this is what I believe, but I'm looking to see, like, is there more information that I need to have in order to make a better decision, because there's still more to learn. And like, even when you're talking about things like the law of attraction, it's not as simple as it seems. It's really, there's different situations in your life that you don't always have control, so you don't always create everything in your life, but there's a lot of things that are reflected back to you, but sometimes that's not what's going on. Other times it's other people's free will going on, and you can remove those people from your life sometimes, but other times, you just have to be like, okay, I have to do my best in order to, like, make the situation better, whatever it is I need to do. You still can choose to be positive, but you also need to look at your emotions and not ignore them. You need to pay attention to who you really are and what you really think. And that's why I'm saying, like, with other things getting involved, what other people think, no matter what source it's coming from, you need to be like, what do I really believe? And just, you have to write it down, or like look at it, think about it, and say, I need to know who I really am, and I need to know, like, what I really believe. And it can change constantly, or like, you might believe something, 1 month, and then you say, oh, I get new information, and I'm like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't true. But you shouldn't be afraid to be wrong, because you can say, I'm not infallible, and I will do my best to say how I feel in the best way possible. There's still a lot to be said, like about the law of attraction. I still have a lot to talk about that, because it's a complicated thing, and sometimes people put it too far. They say, like, everything that happens to you is what you create. And I'm like, no, it's not as simple as that. Things aren't always so simple. But we do have the power to make decisions in our life. That's what I'm saying. Like, these cards are, once again, the Five of Fire, competing goals, bothersome details, conflict with others. It still, like, repeats, like, decisions to me, because, like, once again, we have this card, and, if you go about making decisions that are for your highest good, that you really want, not because of what else other people say, and you're not beating yourself up because someone says it's your fault that those things happen. I mean, there's sometimes there's decisions that you said, like, I knowingly made that decision, and I do have to take responsibility for it. But it's another thing to say that every little thing that happens that somebody else does to you, that you've never brought into yourself, to say that they, what their decision to do is, your fault. What you have the power to make decisions to better your life. Sometimes you have to wait a little bit to get to that point, but you still take steps forward, and that's what's going to get you to a good situation. The Sun card is telling you, yes, You just have to do this work to continually be brave and say, I need to be honest with myself, even if it's scary, because, to be really honest with yourself and, get emotional sometimes, you need to do that in order to live an authentic life, I guess you would call it. And to get to, like, this situation where the sun is, like, saying, this card is so positive and it's there for you. And it's here already, but you still have to make decisions towards your better future. And once again, it's possible. So, there's a lot more to say, but I think I need to get to the next card, the one from the Journey of Love. But, what I'm saying is, there's a lot that needs to be done in our life. And once you think that you know everything, it's really messed up, because there's so much to learn in this life. There's so many exciting things, and maybe sometimes you can't feel it. You have times where you just, like, you can have times when you wake up in the morning and you're just not feeling up to it. You're so tired or something like that, or just something really getting you down. But it's one of those things where, you get to a point where you have a better time. It's, I felt that way so many times in my life. And, right now it's definitely a lot better, where I'm like, I, look forward to get up in the morning and it's really nice, Obviously, it's not, it's one thing, like, it's not your fault if you feel that way. It's just, you need to continue to, like, do more to, like, get to where you need to go. I guess I just need to mention that just in case someone's going through that right now. But, everyone's situation is different. But, there's so much to learn. And, if right now it's really difficult, know that it'll get better as you go on. As you keep looking forward to, like, trying to figure things out. It'll give you, definitely a good reason to get up in the morning to continue on. So I don't know why I went in that direction, but I guess it just needed to happen. So once again, so much to learn. So I'm also going to read, when I get the card, I'm going to read from the little booklet, because it's really something else. It's really interesting to read, and maybe something that I read from it will resonate more with you. And something different than what I get from the card, but I'll do my best to get the meaning of the card out. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we have number 3, Burning Hero. And it's definitely looks like an inferno. The card art is so beautiful, and I mentioned all the names on the box because I wanted them to get credit, but the artist is and this is really cool because they have all the names in the same size print, so I really like that. It just shows that they don't like just think, oh, I'm better than someone else, or my name's more important on this than the other one. The artist gets to be like equal with like the writers and everything like that. So the artist for these cards is a Rasuli. So once again I'll show you the card and I'll read a little bit from the booklet. So number 3. Okay, so from the transformative fires of life's tests, you emerge now, stronger in self-belief, overcoming self-doubt and fear, and shedding the layers that have held you back from burning as a naked flame of divine love. Can you perceive the coolness fast approaching to soothe your fire-weary soul? Peace is coming to you now, a respite from the fire, before you are ready to burn into love again. The intensity of the fire exists in the relationship to cool serenity, and you are capable of experiencing both. Your inner fire has pushed you forward, and your creative self-expression will manifest into the most beautiful forms. This is assured. You burn bright now, and yet it will be the cooling of your soul embers that replenishes you and inspires you to new creative depths. The heights and so creative depths and heights in the due time. In due time. This oracle brings you a message from the heat of your labor. Sweet success will rise, and you will act now as if that success has already been made manifest. It is only a matter of time before it is so. From that success, new level experiences and creative manifestation will take place. You are in a powerful creative cycle of intensity and serenity, dancing with each other through your heart like the sweet relationship of day and night. This cycle yields great harvests. Offer yourself in contribution to the greater good of your harvest will to the greater good, and your harvest will not only of earthly delight, but of heavenly blessings too. And then there's a poem, always feeling your love in every cell of my being. I open my soul, becoming one in your embrace. How rich the moments shared. I savor every one, and even when apart, your love envelops me with knowing we are complete. Together, like a new day, we are born. This is, it really reaches me, and it really goes with the reading because, just that, saying that you have the power to make this, success in your life, and they're saying like, your self-belief and overcoming self-doubt, and then, in the poem, like, in every cell of your being, recently, like right now I'm doing a class in human biology, and, we're talking about the cells and how, that's, the smallest thing of, that is alive, and, how, it incorporates, there's so much of our being that, is, there's just these small things, and yet they're so powerful, and that you feel it in your whole body. Like when you feel love, like it's so encapsulating, like in our whole body, and you just, when you think about everything you're made of, you just say like, wow, I feel really awesome, and I feel like really powerful because like all of this, all these things are coming together to make me. And you're here, and you're able to really enjoy your life, even when you have dark times, like, you can still be like, I know there are good times to come, even if it's not, the best right now, I can get through it, and, I can make the most of it. There is so much to look forward to in this life. This life is so amazing, and, just being able to share it with each other is such a gift, and we just need to keep going and know that it's totally doable to make things happen in our life, and not only in our life. If we have a path that we can change things in different ways, and not only wherever we live, but like in other ways in other people's lives. We affect people's lives all the time. And we can do it in a positive way. And we can also just pray and still make a huge difference. So especially since we're all prayers combined together, and different prayers going to different things, prayers make a big difference. Even if it's just sending positive thoughts to something, that's that's basically whatever you want it to be if you don't want to use the word prayer. And, it just, I feel like there's a lot of energy right now. It's obviously just, very, not overwhelming, but it's definitely there. So I hope that, this message will help you, to uplift you, and to make you feel powerful, and, making things happen in your life, and knowing, everyone, has different things going on in your life, but it doesn't mean you're not alone in what you're dealing with. Maybe your situation is not exactly like someone else's situation, but you're still dealing with things that people are dealing with too, and you're not alone. And it's important that you don't shut yourself in, you know. It's just to like make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do in order to like let your light shine. I'm not really wanting to say it, but like it feels like it needs to come out, because like kind of like something like the angels would say, like, you know, let your light shine, and it's kind of like what they would want it to say. So I'm like, okay, fine, we'll say that. And so that's the message for today, for this week. So yeah, I'm really excited, and you know, I'll see you next week, because, you know, this things, you know, over time gets easier and easier, and like getting these readings out, like I'm getting more confidence over time, and it doesn't mean there won't sometimes be times when it'd be difficult to do it, because sometimes I have to start over a few times. But you know, the reading last week and this one, you know, it's coming out very smoothly. So you know, it's a very nice feeling to be able to like get it out like more smoothly. It doesn't mean that if things don't go smoothly that you shouldn't do it. It just means that, you know, sometimes you need to put it aside for a moment, and then like, okay, you get going again. It's like, all right, you got it, and you're gonna get better and better over time. So anyways, thank you. I'll see you guys next week, and yeah, thank you. Bye.